Hey, this is Drippy. So, in this video, I'm gonna talk about three winners last week. First is Zoom, second is CrowdStrike, and then third is Twilio. So, Zoom and CrowdStrike were both on October 13th, and Twilio was on 14th of October. And I'm gonna go through my mind process, like my thought process before getting in the trade one day before. So let's go over Zoom first. So I shared this on Twitter on 11th of October. The thing that Amazon no longer plans to bring employees back to the office. And I told that, well, if Amazon doesn't bring plan, then a lot of companies are going to follow. And in my opinion, I was like, well, it's a ray of hope for Zoom because, if work from home continues, then Zoom will benefit out of it. And also keep in mind that October 13th was the day when CPI data was released in the morning. So in my mind, I had, thought that, well, if CPI data releases and if it comes out as expected, then all the shorted stocks would hyper growth shorted stocks would shorts would probably cover some of these, right? So I had like three or four charts in my mind. Crowd and Zoom, I'll explain why. But now look at this chart for Zoom. This was a day before when we took the trade. So I'm looking at Zoom here, and right now, it's kind of like basing out here. It's trying to curl up, and also it's in this demand zone, and it's also psychological level 250 level. It just bounced off 250, and there was a news the other day that Kathy Wood was buying Zoom or something like that. I don't really pay attention to that much, but it was also another factor. And I'm looking here, and the daily momentum is kind of dull, but it's kind of like a long base here. It's trying to curl back up, and this was a risky trade, but so now another thing to keep in mind here is that you need to keep in mind the nature of the stock. How much does it move after every when do we get pullback, not pullback, sorry, like bounce backs, from the downtrend. So this is like around, I would say, 11 to 12% here. And then this one, I'm sorry, and then this one is from around 8%, 8.5%. And then this one is again around 9%. So around 8 to 11% was, I was thinking that there might be a chance of pullback. It has done in past three four times. And so this was around sorry, I forgot the shortcut for this, but yeah, so this was around 8.5% here. So I mean, it could have gone down as well, but I was just looking at the chart, and I had my alarm level set. It wasn't in my watch list, but I had my level set for around 258, 259 level set, because it was rejected from this level 3, 4, 5 days in a row. So in my mind, I was like, well, if it kind of breaks this level, there's more there's a chance to capture the upside. So that was my mindset before we entered. And there's this huge gap here, post earnings, I think. So that it's still an unfilled gap here. And there was this gap here. It like Zoom filled it. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna fill it right away, but that is also one thing to consider. So let's go back to the 5-minute chart of Zoom, because that's what really matters. So this was on 12th, as I said, right? So I was watching this level 258.23 because it was rejected on this level a couple times last couple days, and but it was kind of making higher high every time. So it wasn't really it was kind of on a lower time frame it was making higher high here. So in my mind this is like ascending triangle, so if it breaks out then we can capitalize on that. And then so I think I alerted about Zoom. So let's first play this out here. So I'm playing this out. So this was the day, October 13th. And it broke out this level with a strong bar here, strong volume. And this was around 9:45. And I alerted, actually, when I saw this first candle here, I alerted the group, I think around 9:45. So around the same time when I saw this strong move on Zoom here, this was a strong volume bars. You can see here relative volume is strong, and so in my opinion, I told, like, I was watching this level. And then let's just fast forward. Now we are watching this play out here, and then the question is now, like, how long to hold. So in my criteria is usually either a break of support or break of this EMA. This is 512 EMA, Ripster EMA cloud on 5 minutes, and I'm looking at volume. Volume is increasing. On the side I had my tape as well. So I was looking at the tape and there were buyers stepping. So we just like look, it has not broken this EMA yet. So I kind of stopped out at this level because I wanted to keep tight stops, but I entered back again, rolled out, and it was at this point it was just like I saw this red volume. But again, nothing to worry about as long as this EMA is holding. So at this point it's already moved like 6 points. So we were taking profits whole day, but this is kind of starting to look like this was another flag breakout, but starting to look like it's extended at this point. So I think I told, like, I'm closing my positions. And then I saw this candle here as well, and it's kind of like a little bit bearish activity, broke the CMA. So you could have actually entered around 258 260 break, and like we held through this. So congratulations, it was a great trade. I think overall on this trade made like more than 100% if I'm not mistaken. So I think it was in my daily recap here. Yeah, so Zoom like net 250% on that 262.5 275 call 265. I think I just miswrote this, but yeah. So it was a great trade. So same day we had crowd on the watch list as well. So let's go to crowd. So like these trades were based on pure price action. I wasn't watching flow that day because I didn't really find anything interesting the other day before. So I wasn't really like that much I didn't have any conviction on flow plays. So yeah, so let's look at crowd now. Like, let's look at the chart from a weekly perspective here. So let's go back one sec to a day before. So 12th of October. Yeah, so this was crowd's chart. So again, same, everything, all the macro events are same here. It's the same day and very similar, like basing out here than like this time last time. And this has been a long-term trend line on crowd, ever since March 2020, and it's been held really well. Every time it comes here, it bounces. I mean, it retested here, but then bounced back. So I was hoping that it bounces back, and I was watching crowd for a while because if you look at the other, uh, it was also a theme-based play because if you look at Zoom, sorry, not Zoom, Zscaler. Zscaler was already running before cloud. Like if you look here, October 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, it was on a run here. Same thing with Splunk. Same thing here, like it broke out. So I mean, I was like, well, all these are running, and there was like options flow for Splunk was really good, really bullish flow. So I was like, well, why is crowd lagging behind? So that's why I was like, this is a great opportunity to get in crowd before, you know, like to get like the risk reward is awesome here. Like you're risking only like I was, let's say that you enter here, you're risking around this like couple of bucks here to make potentially like so much. So this is a no-brainer for me. So the only thing I was waiting for, so one thing you notice here, right, like all these plays, this is like a flag pattern breakout, and like how this EMA is trying to curl up. So this is a good entry point in my opinion. So I was watching 252 level, and so I alerted the group around 10 o'clock. No, I think it was around 10 o'clock. I wanted more confirmation from crowd because it's been on a downtrend here for a while. So let's go back to 12th, and then let's go to 5-minute chart. So looking at the 5-minute chart here, for this was on 12th again, just watching, there was this level here around 250, 252, this level. I was watching this 253 break, and so let's fast forward this. So this was the open for that day. Let me increase the speed a little bit more. So I think it's 12th, my bad. Let me go back to 13th. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So this was 253, 254 level I was watching. It got rejected the other day. It got rejected again. But one thing I noticed was that on 12th, around 11 o'clock, it had this huge run. It's just pretty bullish because after 11, usually if it's a trend down, it continues. But in this case, it actually rallied. So that was a good sign. And if you look, like it's a cup kind of pattern on 5-minute with this small handle. So I was just watching the break of that level, and I saw this huge like volume, like this strong volume on early morning, and just like 5 points up in 5 minutes. I mean, like that was awesome, because now that that this is a strong day for a crowd. So crowd is a habit of like jumping up, like, and then it kind of pulls back. So I was waiting for a pullback. So I think around 10 o'clock I alerted that let's go in once it pulls back here, and then we just whole day same thing as Zoom. It didn't break this, so there's no reason to sell yet. You can take profits in between, of course. We rolled over, but I saw like some strong volume and buyers on the tape, and I didn't feel like to sell. But yeah, so at this point I think sold, got out, saw this, but it was kind of flagging here for a while, and then it broke again. Never really went down this CMA. It was consolidating for a while, and at the end of the day it kind of made a new high of the day. I remember I told you, right, after 11, if the trend is continued, it's probably going to continue whole day. But at this point, premiums are not going to give us much. So what I did was this: I held through my previous contracts, just because it was like Friday. With the rolled over contracts, I took profit, and I forgot about 3 in the money contracts. But just looking at the chart here, I knew that it's bullish. Just broke out with a strong volume, so I knew that there will be more continuation, and that's what happened. Next day, it moved another 4 or 5 points, and I told that to some of the members. I'm sorry, to some of the followers on Twitter, that I think it will move 4 to 5 points more, and then I took my profits on Friday, and overall I think made 600% on this trade in 2 days. So it was another phenomenal trade. Also, I think we made more because we rolled over contracts, so it's kind of hard to track, but greater than 600%. So another great trade, and I think, in my opinion, this will continue. So we're gonna keep this on watch anyway. Like after the break of, let's say, this resistance area, 280, 285 to 90 is possible, right? Like all the others did that. I mean, it's gonna make a new high because it has done that in the past, as long as market is healthy. So looking solid. This one is looking solid for next week as well. So the last trade I'm gonna talk about is October 14th to Twilio. Now Twilio's chart, again, Twilio is like a communication cloud-based platform, and again, communication is the same. If Amazon says that we're gonna do work from home, other companies are gonna probably follow that, and this was another play in my mind. And also, if you look at this pattern here, it was in this like daily weekly demand zone. Like, it has bounced off this level many times in the past, so it's a strong support area. And a day before, so let's go back here on a daily chart, replay to October 13th. So 13th I missed. So now you notice a pattern here, right? On 13th, Crowd, Twilio, and Zoom, all three shorted stocks were popping up. So Twilio already did, but it didn't really make a huge move because it's a low ATR stock. It's not like Crowd, but so if you look at Twilio's chart, just like around this day, you can see here it's a very similar pattern as Zoom. So you could have gotten in on 13th as well. And look, this demand zone, very similar pattern. I love trading this pattern, break out of this flag, and it was another trade in my mind. So why did I think that it's gonna continue move next day? Just because just broke out of this level, and if you speed up here, yeah, so this was a day before, and it closed above the EMAs on daily. So in my mind, I was like, well, at least it will retest at least around 367 area, because that has been a resistance in the past around this. So in my mind, I was like, at least retested. So that was, I think, 20 points far. The volume was also increasing every day. So let's go back to this day. Yeah, I think it needs to. Okay, so let's go back to. I'm sorry, I think it's just one day behind. Let's forget about that. Okay, let's go to this. Yeah, so again, this was October 13th. I told that we missed this one, but now look at October 14th here. So I alerted the group at 9:34, so pretty early in the, I think, usually I try to wait until 15 minutes, but since I'd give you my reasoning that I was hoping for a continuation here, so I was kind of bullish on this. And these are all price action based. I didn't really check the flow. I mean, I checked the flow, but there was nothing really interesting. So if you look here, we got in 9:34, so around this area, got in early morning trade. And then our target was 360. I think I told like 360 was the target, so that was like, I think, a 5 to 7 point move. So it went from like 2 to 6 or something. So pretty good trade. I told a lot of people get out around 260. I think some people were still holding, hoping for more, but it was extended at this point. So, you know, in my opinion, I think that trade was enough. Actually, that day, Upstart was the trade to make. I missed it. Feel bad about it, but it's okay. It happens. We can't take all of them, but overall, like, this was also another great trade. A lot of people actually took this one, I think. And if you look at my daily recap here, I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, so 2.8 to 6, like more than 100%. And like, next video I'll talk about EXC, MGM, and also XPEV, because those paid big. Those were swing plays. These were price action based. So I hope that you are getting to understand that there are different strategies for different days. If flow is not that great for any plays, you can play these as well. There's opportunity every day in the market to make money with options. And I told that last week I wasn't really planning on swinging much, except some stocks. That's the reason why I was doing like intraday swings and scalps. And it worked out well. You need to adapt to different strategies for different days, and you learn that over time. Like, so crowd was a theme based play, Zoom was also a macro event based and price action, and Twilio was a continuation play. So different strategies, different mindsets, but similar results. So I hope you like the content, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and watch out for the winners. For the next 3 winners, I'm gonna release the video possibly by today evening, and that would be awesome. So see you guys later. Bye.